In discussing your confirmation, you have mentioned the phrase, facts don't matter. How did that come up?
Whenever we would rebut something during my confirmation, some charge against me, they would say, the facts don't matter, it's the seriousness of the charge. That's the point where we're at. People don't ask for facts anymore. They just simply say, give me a story, give me a narrative that fits what I like. It's fascinating to me.
We've gotten used to cases where the charge is everything.
Well, that's it. That's what I was saying then. J'accuse. You don't have to have it proven. That was what really was worrisome. You know what is coming down the pike if this gains legitimacy. Are we against the fact that in our society if A says something about B, then A has the burden of demonstrating that in the court of law? Again, people sit passively by and let it happen.
In many cases, especially in yours, the left doesn't give up. At the end of the confirmation hearings, a poll showed that the American people believed you by a margin of 2-1. Over the next 25 years, with an endless amount of attacks and movies like Confirmation, and they've changed the narrative. They've changed the public's perception.
They create a myth. They create an image. It's a tactic, and when people see it being successful, they don't realize they're going to be the next ones in the Tower of London. It is just a matter of time. You allow this to be a precedent in your society, and people might say, oh, it's wonderful. This particular guy is getting tarred and feathered. Well, there's a lot of tar, and there's a lot of feathers, and eventually you will be there.
Unintended consequences. The policies destroy people. You have talked a little today about how life in the black community has not been improved by many well-intentioned social programs. Do you think in some ways it is worse than when you grew up?
It's a disaster. When I grew up, you had family. You didn't have drugs. You didn't have gang banging. You could walk down the street. There was a change in our society. I think that these programs certainly had an impact. Just go back to Savannah and take a look around you. Our worst fears were realized. We didn't want to be right. We wanted to be wrong. It wasn't about winning an argument. No, we wanted to lose the argument. We did not want the damage to occur. That's why we were involved. I don't particularly like public life. I never wanted to be in public life. I like to go to football games. I like not to make decisions about other people's lives, but what drags you into it is when you see these principles being undermined, which leads to such destruction. The policies destroy people, and ultimately, I think, we're going to destroy the very thing that allows us to have liberty and to have a free society.
So the heirs to those movements, like Black Lives Matter, focus on other things, mass incarceration, police brutality. What do you think of the current movements for racial justice?
I don't really follow the movements du jour. I don't quite understand them. It's fascinating to me that the radical groups in the 60s that we all were aware of and fond of back then, like the Black Panthers, that's kind of mainstream now. But we knew they were more marginal back then. I don't know what to say about this, but if you look at some of the things that still are problematic, like bad education, unsafe neighborhoods, drugs, alcohol, breakdown in families, it seems like these are things that we warned about back then. We were told, basically, take a long walk on the short pier. And I understand that. I understand people not wanting to hear an opposing view. But at the same time, we're not taking ownership of these policies having a significant role in the damage that's been done.